Hey, welcome to my fine array of supplements. I wanted to do a quick video today and show you guys my supplements, what I take, why I take it, and what I recommend. I've had some people ask me over the past few days about what I do, and while I take about a dozen or so supplements, doesn't mean that you need to take this many. Maybe some of these will be of benefit to you, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. But before I begin, there are 4 main supplements that I do recommend to virtually everybody, like 99% of people and my clients. And that would be a greens powder / multivitamin, a probiotic, a omega-3 fatty acid, and vitamin D3. Now, I'll start with the multivitamin. So I take now Athletic Greens. I've been taking this for probably a few months now. It's my newest favorite on the market right now. There's really nothing else like it that's out there, because it has its full array of vitamins and minerals in the proper dosages, and they're in their super bioavailable form. So you're just gonna soak it all up internally, which is great, because most multivitamins these days, like, you end up excreting about half of it. I mean, it's hard to know how much, but you're not absorbing 100% of it, I guarantee it. If you've ever seen your urine turn neon, that's because you're urinating riboflavin, which is vitamin B3. So, it doesn't mean that you're not absorbing it. I'm just saying that you're excreting quite a bit of what is in that multivitamin. So greens powders are really great because you absorb it better, just for that simple purpose. And actually because they contain usually a bunch of superfoods like, microalgae and spirulina, chlorella, chlorophyll, and really important, herbs and things like that. So this has all of that, and antioxidants, some probiotics, and some mushroom extract, which is really good for immunity, and some enzymes. So if you want to check this out, I will post the link at the bottom of the video, okay? Moving on, I have fish oil. Now, this is from Pharmax. It's a high potency fish oil, so it's really high in DHA, which is really important to me, and it should be important to you because your neurons pretty much survive off of DHA. Like, it's really just like the foundation for their whole structure. So if you want healthy neurons and brain health, you really want to have about 1,000 milligrams of DHA a day. I take 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of total omega-3 fatty acids, which it comprises of DHA and EPA mostly. So that's about 80 calories worth for 2,000 milligrams, which is probably the most important 80 calories you could have. Now, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you have to look really closely at the labels because they're usually very, very low in both EPA and DHA. So you would have to take quite a bit of tablets or liquid or whatever to reach that 2,000 milligram limit, okay? But generally my recommendation is 1 to 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per day. Alright, moving on, I have a probiotic here. It's in tinfoil because, believe it or not, probiotics are really susceptible and vulnerable to light and oxygen. So, you want to make sure that it's in a dark place so they don't die. This is from Designs for Health. It's really good because it contains the 2 main strains, Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium, excuse me. And, most probiotics have that too, plus other strains. But these are the 2 main ones that you want. And don't go crazy about the CFU. I mean, this one's about 20 billion CFU. Some companies will market it as like 100, billion CFUs, and more is not necessarily better. It's the variety of the strains that you want. While this only has two strains, other ones have more, and that could be better. It just really depends. Each strain has its own benefit, and under certain pathologies and diseases and conditions, like, some strains are important, But for general health purposes, I'm okay with these two. Now, Designs for Health is probably one of the best supplement companies out there. They're a pharmaceutical grade company. You can't buy them over the counter because they're in super, high potency form, and they don't want random people just like buying their stuff without the guidance of a clinical nutritionist or a practitioner who's qualified to give it to them. So I am able to give this stuff to clients at a discount. So if you work with me, you will get the best of the best. That's just kind of how we do it. And that doesn't mean you can't have a good, probiotic in your refrigerator if you go to the Whole Foods or Vitamin Shop or GNC. So just look for these strains, that's all. Alright, moving on, I have vitamin D3, right? This is from Pure Encapsulations. You can get the vitamin D3 anywhere. It's really easy to find, and they're all the same pretty much. 5,000 IUs a day is my recommendation. I'm not content with 2,000 IUs set forth by the government because it's too low, and vitamin D is very, very deficient in most Americans. So I would definitely suggest getting that, and make sure that you consume it with a fat dense meal, because fats are needed to absorb the fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Alright, so those are the main four I recommend to most people. Now, all the other stuff I'm going to talk about is really just like auxiliary, health prevention stuff that I take. Through my education you learn, some things that are good, and I'll explain why I take it. So I have, okay, so this is gelatin, right? It's essentially collagen. I take this really just for joint health and connective tissue health because, collagen is, it's in everything in your body, right? It's in your tendons, your joints, your ligaments, your skin, your hair, right? So if you want to have good connective tissue health, I recommend taking this. It's grass-fed. You blend it in water. It doesn't really taste like anything. Some people complain about it, but to each their own, I guess. It's great. I'm going to take this every day of my life, so I suggest doing this. It's from Great Lakes. You can get it on Amazon for dirt cheap. Okay, so next I have turmeric. I will switch off between this and Zyflamend from New Chapter. So turmeric is, a really important herb. It's super great for controlling inflammation, and if you work out, you're breeding inflammation. But even if just by living as a human being, you have inflammation, so you can't avoid it. But the point is, you want to control it so it doesn't get out of control, obviously. And we're seeing now that inflammation is the cornerstone for disease, like atherosclerosis and heart attacks. I mean, that's all inflammation based. So I take it just for making sure that things don't go crazy in my body. I will change it up with this sometimes. Zyflamend, and it's really the same thing. It has turmeric plus ginger and rosemary and Chinese skullcap, which among a few others, and they all act as the same thing, just anti-inflammatory herbs. This is from Douglas Labs, by the way, the single turmeric. But again, you can find other turmeric formulas. I also have this one, which I ran out of. I got this at Whole Foods, I think. It's from Mega Food, just turmeric powder. Okay, next I have cruciferous vegetable extract. Okay, so this is a little bit, a little random, but I'm taking this because I'm a big fan of cruciferous veggies, like kale, Swiss chard, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, etc. Now, the dark leafy vegetables, they contain these compounds called glucosinolates that turn into isothiocyanates, which are essentially, they turn on the tumor suppressor gene, which is, as it sounds, turns off tumors that potentially grow. So it's really, really important because, anything you can do to prevent tumor growth or cancer is really vital to me, and it's kind of the whole reason why I got into this whole field is because of cancer. So I take it for that purpose. Maybe not necessary, but you know, I take it in addition to eating my vegetables. I don't think it hurts. Doesn't taste the best, but you know, bite the bullet, I guess, right? Okay, next I have arlopoic acid. Now this is great because for two main reasons. One, it is both a water and fat soluble antioxidant, so it works in fat tissue and it works in outside of fat tissue, basically in other cells, and in water. So basically, you know, you have vitamin C that works in like water, you know, so outside the cells, and vitamin E that works usually mostly in fat tissue. So you have these free radicals that are everywhere in your body, inside all these types of tissues. So arlopoic acid is great because it can attack free radicals in fat soluble and in water soluble areas. And it even regenerates vitamin C and E. So it's got a lot of important roles. Plus, it helps with managing insulin sensitivity and handling carbs a lot better so you don't store it as fat. So for people with diabetes and have poor insulin management, or don't handle carbs very well, they kind of gain fat from it, from just, you know, a healthy amount of carbs. I'll put them on this, which really does help. Okay. So next I have a B complex. I don't take this every day. I take it when I drink alcohol. Actually, if you saw my last video, I explained the protocols I use for drinking alcohol and how to avoid fat gain and hangovers and all that stuff. So check back and watch the video if you haven't seen it. But essentially, B vitamins are really important for liver detoxification. So I take this before I go to sleep to help, you know, just flush out all the alcohol and make sure that I don't get a hangover the next day. And believe me, it does work. So it's a little trick that I use. Okay. Oh, and by the way, you don't really need to take this if you have a healthy, balanced diet and you take a greens powder, because the greens powder pretty much has, yeah, it has obviously all the B vitamins, so not really needed. Huperzine, I don't take this every day also, but in my latest article, 5 Alternatives to Caffeine, I talk about huperzine. Now it's important because it keeps acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter, like more, you know, persistent in the body. So, and acetylcholine is important for muscle contractions and for maintaining communication between neurons. So your focus and concentration, they all improve when you take huperzine, and I notice it, definitely. So I'll take it when I'm at the gym, or before the gym, and when I have any sort of like challenging mental tasks, like, you know, trying to solve world hunger, right? So you can check out that article and read more about it, among a few other products I recommend too. Okay, so lastly we have, what do I want, Breathe Clear? Okay, so this is nothing special, but I take this, I don't really take it actually, I used to, but if you have allergies, and it's, you know, allergy season's coming up, this is Breathe Clear. It's really helpful, has a bunch of bioflavonoids in it. I sell this on my website along with this one, Patent Energy, which, if you don't know, is a bunch of phospholipids that are important for maintaining cell membrane integrity and health. Basically so that like bad things and toxins and foreign, you know, substances don't enter the cell and cause DNA damage and things like that. And we know that cell membranes are damaged every single day, so it's really important to keep them healthy and to supply them with the materials they need to rebuild that wall. So I sell that on my website too. It's cheaper than you can find it anywhere because I want to make it available to most people, and it's not really that even common to find online. I'm just a wholesale distributor for them. You can go to nutritionmax.fit/shop to find that product, and as well as a few other ones that I sell. Alright, don't know if there's anything else. That might be it actually. Yeah, I mean, I take whey protein from Athletic Greens as well. It's grass-fed. It's awesome. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, you can choose which of these you would want to take. I would strongly recommend the main four that I mentioned earlier. Excuse me, that I mentioned earlier. And arlopoic acid, definitely, I think, and an anti-inflammatory herb. I think if you were to take anything out of this video, it's to look into those main 6 supplements. You know, diet is great. You can be on point, you know, whatever, all the time, but sometimes you need to, you know, augment it a little bit, augment your health, and make sure that, you know, you're just in top shape, okay? So that's it. Hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, or send me an email at justin@nutritionmax.fit. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.